hope you're doing great. This is Elizabeth, and I'm doing my master's in international business management at the University of Hertfordshire. I come from a country that is rich in culture and is the land of diverse religions, languages, and traditions. I'm the dearest daughter of my parents, who both come from different religions, and that is why I believe my background is interesting. My father is a Christian, and my mother is a Hindu, and they helped me a lot in being involved in both cultures. After doing a self assessment of my background, I believe in time that I have changed the way I think on certain aspects of the diverse society. I strongly believe that my background, the way I was brought up, and all the experiences that I have influence majorly on the values and beliefs I have, and also my interactions in a diverse society. I have many different attitudes towards the racism, ethnicity, gender, social class, and religion. And I did not want to limit it to a single country. So I chose to move to UK and experience different cultures and of the UK as well. Coming to all the modules of this semester, this particular module, professional and consultancy skills, caught my eye because I was not confident about this module. I was really skeptical about this. But eventually, after a few classes, when I got in depth knowledge about this module, I understood that we as students can achieve a high level of understanding of the global view and will be prepared for professional practice in the future. Also, I've come across all the important topics of this module, like the Gibbs reflective cycle, the Belbin's model, Tuckman's model, De Bono six thinking hats. All of this. Being said that all of these are important topics, I mainly connected and related to the Gibbs reflective cycle. I feel that it is a well structured cycle. It has a proper beginning, middle, and end, and it can be a good starting point for those who are new to reflection. All right, so when I first started out on this assignment, I was very nervous because it is not just a document anymore. It is not a word uh, document or, just a matter for the tutor to grade. It will be me in life, like how I look, how I sound, how I speak. And I was very nervous about this whole situation. The only thing that stood as my strong pillar was the confidence I had in myself, in my communication skills, and also all the knowledge that I gained in my experiences. Although I had enough knowledge, I had a lot of insecurities within myself. Insecurity is about, everything about my uh, accent, how I look, about the color, about the race, everything. Insecurity comes around in your childhood. It is not something that you inherit all of a sudden. And how would I know that? Well, back when I was a little child, I grew up in insecurities my whole life. I was insecure about my whole existence. And what I felt back then caused me to pull up my sleeves even more, talk a little quieter, having unpleasant thoughts overfilling my head all the time. And same thing goes for people around the world as well. About 80% of women feel insecure, more than 33% of men do. And that's a very big number, I believe. So people getting insecurities is like a common cycle. And upon a lot of reflection, I realized that these are mere obstacles that are stopping me from being the successful person that I ought to be. When I started this journey, I decided that I have to forget about the past and focus only on the good things that are happening to me. I began thinking positively and taking steps that would only make me feel better rather than make me feel underconfident. I also understood that I'm only concentrating on emotional aspect of all of this and rather compressing the practical approach. I then thought to myself that it is always better to take a practical approach to any situation rather than being emotionally invested in it. And I started working on the content of the presentation rather than worrying about, how the other people see me as. I thought it would help me better if I assigned short term goals to myself and then try to achieve them step by step rather than focusing on the long-term goal at once. I finally concluded that people with a practical approach have reasons and logic to overcome their situation, and emotional approach is never helpful. It only rather diminishes the probability of success in a situation. I therefore try to take steps that help me forget that I'll be judged for how I look, and I concentrated more on the subject. That really helped me a lot. And I finally decided not to use the emotional approach at all. So whenever I face any kind of tough situation, I rather decided to use a practical approach. And with respect to my career, I used a practical approach and decided that I did not want to care about anything else except the knowledge that I've gained, the experiences that I've had, and I completely believe that the content holds higher value than any other aspect in this assignment. A few important things that I learned are that no matter where you go, how much exposure you gain and how many cultures you see, all the experiences does not just come with advantages but has their own disadvantages as well. At the end of the day, all that matters is how well you have overcome those difficulties in your life. Therefore, here I am sitting in front of all of you, knowing that I have few flaws and few insecurities in me, but I also know that I have all the strength in me to overcome every obstacle that I will ever face. And I'm proud of who I am and I'm proud of my journey. I will always own up to the scars that I have. And that's my self reflection.
Yeah, that was a very good self-reflection from your side, Elizabeth. And I really love the way you speak. So before that, I wanted to ask a few questions, maybe two questions from my side. Is that fine for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you deal with pressure or stressful situations?
Right. Yeah. So I realized that stressful situations are always going to come up, and I definitely have to learn how to navigate them throughout my career. I think I only get better at it with every new experience. It's not just something that happens overnight. Each and every experience changes you. And now I am confident and I'm able to stay calm by focusing on the bigger picture and breaking down my projects into simpler tasks. I always start by asking myself, okay, what is the ultimate goal here? What am I trying to achieve at the end of all of it? From there, I make a list of all the immediate and long term action items that I have to achieve. I make achievable but ambitious tasks. So even if the bigger project is due right tomorrow, I ask myself, okay, what is something I can do in the next 30 minutes that will make my life easier rather than thinking about tomorrow's deadline. I think about the next 30 minutes, and then when I cross that milestone of the 30 minutes, then the next 30 minutes. And that's how I manage my life. And even the impossible situations become possible there. Yeah.
Yeah, that I agree with that. That is great answer as well. Secondly,
True.
yeah, tell me
Mhm.
about a time when you went above or and beyond for work.
Yeah, sure. So, in my last company, when I worked during a project, my team leader asked me to complete a marketing report based on two of our competitors. And the requirements were simple. I had to fill out the answers to questions about our competitors' products, their prices, their sales percentages, everything on a spreadsheet to present in a meeting. So I saw an opportunity there. I wanted to impress everybody over there. So I thought, okay, why not go above and beyond by making, colorful charts? Everything is possible now. We have so many tools. We have everything to make it possible to make a presentation look colorful and bright. So that's what I did. I used slideshow. I used all the pie charts, all the tree diagrams that I could do in our meeting. And guess what? Not only my meeting helped my supervisor, my team lead, it also helped each and everyone in my team, and the client loved it. They loved it, and I was very much appreciated for that project. So, yeah, I really would cherish that memory with me forever. It was a very successful one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's from my end. I would like to forward to my colleague, Mr. Anwar.
Hello.
Hi, you have really done well. So here are
You.
my questions. How do you keep yourself organized?
Well, over the years, I've noticed how important it is to keep track of your time at work, Although multitasking is beneficial in many ways, I've learned that when it comes to challenging work, it is always better to focus on one project at a time rather than, doing too many things at work. So I don't say that multitasking is wrong. I'm all for multitasking. I believe me, I do a lot of multitasking myself. But I believe when it comes to important works, when you have to prioritize things, you should always do one thing after the other. And rather mixing up everything by multitasking, you can also spoil a lot of things. So I believe in focusing on one project at a time, and that's how I organize my work. I do one project at a time and then finish it without any hassle. Yeah, and that's how I organize my work.
Yeah. So do you have any leadership experience?
Yes, I do have leadership experiences. So, in my previous company, I was in charge of training all the new interns. There was this program called Badia program, where I was their mentor, and I was in charge of basically all their trainings. So I was responsible for setting up their training programs and developing materials to help them understand their role completely. Not only that, but I was also assigned to help them around socially, to let them know where the canteen is, where the social hubs are, where the knowledge hubs are. So I was pretty much involved in everything they do. Helping them feel welcome was a big part of my role, which is why I created a mentorship program. This helped myself and interns get to know, like, full-time employees and get valuable advices from each other. It was not just a learning for them, but a learning for me too. I really cherish that experience a lot. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hi all, my name is Anirudh Pabsetti and I am from the southern part of India. I completed my bachelor's degree from Lovely Professional University in the northern state of India, which is Punjab. So my days in Punjab has to be given a special mention as the language widely spoken there is Punjabi, which is different to my native language, Telugu. So I came across plenty of local people who speak their natural language uh, fluently, which made me very nervous among them, which further made me silent. Luckily, I found few amazing people who taught me all the basics of their language, and they became furthermore social and confident among people. So when I initially started moving to UK, I thought I would have the same experience as that of India. I was doubtful about the whole journey as well. During the initial days, I found it very difficult to adjust to the environment as the climate, the food habits were quite opposite to that of my home country. But I overcame all these difficulties by focusing on my long-term goals and not giving up on my time on these minor challenges. I expanded my social circle and learned how to manage my time when put through difficult situations. I also maintained proper work-life balance and gave time to myself whenever needed. So I am currently pursuing my master's degree in business administration, far away from home. Owing to my diverse education background and also observing my father business operation during childhood, I grew more interested in cross-culture marketing. As international business is well-designed academic course, where fundamentals of international business, cooperative planning, and operations within the particular implementation are the main focus of the modules. So when I began this module, I was eagerly looking forward for global business and supply chain modules. And I also having the least experience and I must say expectations, yeah, on the professional and consultation skills module, assuming that it has least impact on my goals. So after being involved in the classes and gaining knowledge and expertise from the uh, module leaders, I would say I realized that there are a lot more to me learn from this module. I realized this module will be the key to many of my insecurities and negative points. In the classes I have attended, I could relate more to the GIPS reflective portfolio, uh, and I believe it's most perfectly curated and put out to the best professional manner ever. I think out of the box solutions most of the times, which help me a lot in handling any of these kind of situations and spontaneity rather than stressing over it. And I consider this as my biggest strength. I am also very creative when it comes to creating content. I believe I am better at expressing in words rather than speaking out in loud. I would also love to consider myself as an amateur writer, and I write occasionally, and depending upon the situation that I face in my life. I'm more of an emotional person, where I give preference to my emotional thinking instead of my practical thinking. I also have issues facing the crowd and putting myself out there. If I put in a group, I often stay quiet, and instead of expressing myself, my ideas, I stay silent. I was too afraid of being wrong or being judged by others. This made my engagement weak in extracurricular activities like public speaking activity, group discussion sections, and any other section that involves me being in the spotlight. So when I first heard about this assignment, I was very nervous because I had to work with two different people and face the camera and also to be perfect at the same time. I didn't think I would have survived through it all. Initially, I thought I'm just an introvert and I can never be an open in public in the near future ever. And that made me feel like an failure in most of my times and also in tough situations I faced. It would always be giving me anxiety after being involved in the lectures and tutorials given by the tutors. I realized that the public speaking comes from the being confident enough, and it's all about the content. As I began to prepare my presentation, I realized that I had knowledge in me more than I know of. When I realized this, I gained more confidence in my ability to deliver the presentation effectively. And during the presentation, I tried to focus on my content and my audience rather than on myself. I practiced deep breathing even when I felt anxious. I also used self talk to remind myself that I am capable and prepared. And I also did some positive feedbacks and my friends, which helped me gain more confidence in myself. I felt proud of myself for taking on the challenge and stepping out of my comfort zones. In the future, I know I will face many such situations and I will be willing to push myself out, trying to new things, taking up new challenges, and even if they make me feel nervous and uncomfortable. Because I realize that we will gain the knowledge and confidence only when we push ourselves to the extremes. This module has helped me to overcome all those things that I lacked emotionally and practically. So I'm glad that I took it up and I am proud of I overcome myself that I overcome all these difficulties. At the end, what matters is that my success and that is obtained by improving myself and my weaknesses. That's all, guys.
Yeah, that's a very good talk, Anirudh. So, like, I would like to question a few questions for you. Like, I would like to ask for some few questions. Is that fine?
Yes,
Yeah. So, as you said, you're successful. Like, you're trying to be successful. Do you consider yourself as a successful person?
yes, I do consider myself successful. Even though I am early in my professional career, I knew that I needed to make sure that I was on right track with my graduation requirements, and it was difficult to juggle it all with my part-time jobs and to keep up with my course, and which I kept account for the fact that I wouldn't be earning money over the summer. And there are few sleepless nights, but it was worth enough. For me, success is all about setting a goal, sticking with it, and no matter how hard it is. Yes.
Yeah. As you said, you're good at balancing your work and personal life. So, could you explain a bit more? How do you balance your work and professional, like personal life, effectively?
So I believe I manage my professional and personal lives very well. I start my work days by looking at my schedule and creating a list of things so I can be prioritizing and completing tasks during the day which accordingly. So this list usually begin with the tasks that are of my highest priority. By accomplishing this, I don't overwhelm myself attempting to complete the tasks immediately before they are due. And I have been employing this strategy for a few years, and I should say this has worked best for me. And to achieve this healthy work-life cycle balance, this puts us really well.
Yeah, that's from my side, Mr. Anirudh. I would like to forward to Elizabeth.
Hello, Anirudh.
Hi.
I'm glad that you overcame all your weaknesses, and that was a really great self reflection. And I have two questions for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We often face failures in our life, and it's not something that has to be treated as a bad phase. But is there any of such incident in your life? Have you failed any time? And if you did, how did you deal with it?
So yes, I did fail few times. So I found that over the years, making mistakes has taught me a lot. One mistake that helped me grow the most is when I was not meeting my deadlines. So I was giving a special mention to this because I have learned a lot from this thing really. So whenever I started my career in initial days, I was felt so discouraged that I was not meeting my deadlines. So I asked my manager for some advice. He told me that the number of one mistake I was making was not following up the clients enough. So when I followed his advice and started to look through what I have previously done and started to take or talk with the clients what they are actually looking for and double. And this experience has taught me the most important thing in my life, that nurturing leads and that I always have room for improvement. Yes.
That's absolutely right, Anirudh. We always have room to learn a lot. Okay, let's come out of work now. Can you tell me what do you like to do outside of work? What are you outside of work?
So yeah, I am a huge foodie actually. So my friends and love trying out new restaurants in the town as soon as they are open. The more unusual, the better. So I love discovering new foods and the cuisines. So and it is also a great activity to share with friends to maintain some social life and to hang out with friends and spend some quality time. So I try to go out with some group of friends at least once a week, and it's a fun to make sure we keep in touch and share our experience we have faced throughout the week. So whenever we are busy with other things, we often find a day out and plan a day out. So we'll know how what's going on in other So recently we took a trip to New York and spent each day in a different neighborhood buying something to share among ourselves and spend some quality time. That was really went well.
That's amazing. That's amazing.